Hola, buenos dias. This is Kai Pacha with the weekly Pele Report, and this is an astrological forecast for the week starting now, like June 4th or 5th. I'm going to get this up on Tuesday or Wednesday, middle of the week. It's going to go in through the weekend into next week of 2014. And it's just looking at the patterns, as above, so below, as without, so within. The idea here is that astrology is a beautiful art of validating externally what we are internally experiencing in our inner realities. And we are all connected on one level to the collective unconscious. And when I give these weekly reports, it just kind of gives the, takes the pulse of that collective unconscious of which we are all a part. So it's just like, we're each individual seeds or plants, and each seed and plant is, growing out of the earth and exposed to some rain. So, some days are rainy, some days are sunny, and, this is just like, so we're all part of this bigger, wider collective energy, and it affects each one of us uniquely, individually. If we're an orchid, we need more rain or more moisture or more sun than, than a rose, than a palm tree, than an oak tree. So we have all these different, we're all unique individuals, but we're all here on planet Earth. We're all breathing the same air. Some of us, not exactly the same air. It depends on where you are, yeah? But anyway, psychically, we're in the same soup bowl. And the soup bowl right now, there's lots of things, there's a lot of things going on. I want to talk primarily today about two major aspects, and that is number one, Venus moving through Taurus here on Wednesday or Thursday is going to come into an exact square with Black Moon Lilith in Leo, both of them at 10 degrees of the fixed signs. I want to talk about that a little bit. The sun is moving through the middle of Gemini, and by this weekend it is exactly square Chiron. Yeah, Gemini to Chiron, 17 degrees of the mutable signs. Okay. Then we have Mercury up there. It's going around, going around, going around. Guess what? On Saturday, Mercury stations and goes retrograde. It's going to be retrograde for 3 weeks. It just peeped into Cancer for 3 degrees, and now it's going back into Gemini. So we'll see what that, what that indicates in these coming weeks ahead. And last but not least then, Neptune is also stationing on Sunday or Monday, and it is going retrograde back through Pisces. So some of you folks with these, with these planetary, planetary positions, at particularly like 5 to 10 degrees of the mutable signs. The mutable signs are Pisces, Gemini, Virgo, and Sagittarius. If you don't know your chart and you don't know where your planetary, where your planets are, then you need to get that done. Everybody needs to know their birth chart. Jeez. So if you're watching these reports, you need to know if you've got Mars or the Sun or the Moon between 5 and 10 degrees of these mutable signs, you're getting a whammy for about 3 years, because Neptune is going back and forth 5 times. Yes, between 5 and 10 degrees, you're getting confused, chaos, confusion, surrender, allow, accept. Where do I go? What do I do? I don't know how to make up my mind. I'm overstimulated. I'm overwhelmed. That's going to be happening to a lot of people here, because this Neptune is just like bop, 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 back and forth, not letting us go. And this ties directly into what I want to be talking about today, and that is the Sun square Chiron. Whew. These are some tests. These are tests in surrender of control. And surrender of control can just equal, yeah, just kind of letting go of some of our ambitions, some of our goals, some of our deadlines. It's just very fascinating. Chiron is the co-ruler of the underworld with Pluto. And in the underworld, it is a surrender of our willpower. It's a surrender of our own egoic direction, strategy. This is where I'm going. I want to achieve this. I want to make this. I've made these plans. I'm either going on vacation, or I'm starting a business, or I'm going to, get married or divorced or separated, or I'm going to do these things. We tend to egoically attach to outcomes. I want to build a house. I want to move to California. I want to write a book. We get, and it's unconscious, but we place a lot of emphasis, a lot of, our state of mind, our state of being, our emotional state of joy and happiness and contentment and peace gets kind of hinged onto, results and achievements, particularly visible, tangible, third-dimensional. We're taught from early on that this is all there is, and what's going on here is what makes the difference, and what the neighbors see, and what the parents have to, look at. So our bodies, our bank accounts, our cars, our houses, our partners, a lot of this is just tangible, physical, and this is just like, this is this Venus moving through Taurus, and it's coming into this opposition with Saturn pretty much for weeks on end. And Mars in Libra is going to be opposing Uranus all month. It's there right now. Mars is at like 10 degrees. Uranus is at 15 and closing. And so, what this has to do with, this has to do with frustration. You might pick up a little frustration in my voice. I know I've been frustrated. This is this Mars in Libra, man. It's squaring Pluto at 12, opposite Uranus. And it's going slow as molasses, through the sign of Libra. And what's going on? Well, it first came around in December, late December. And then it went retrograde and came back to that same place in April. And now it's going direct. And for this month of June, the seeds that were sown in December that led to changes that need to be made through March and April and May are going to now break out, break loose, be exposed, manifest. And Mars has been retrograde for a long time. It's like we've all been in the oven for a long time cooking, and we're done. And this Mars is ready to come out. And here what happens? Venus comes into a square with Black Moon Lilith. And this Black Moon Lilith going through Leo, she's there for a good 9 months. She's there till November. Black Moon Lilith went into Leo March 5th, and it's going to stay there until November 28th. And let's look at this Black Moon Lilith, because she is frustration. If you want to see where you're frustrated, where you get upset, where your buttons are, just look where Black Moon Lilith is in your chart by sign, house, and aspect. And that's where you are pissed off. She is one pissed off lady. Why? Because she has had to reject herself in order to be loved. This part, wherever she is, let's look at it in Leo. If Black Moon Lilith moving through Leo right now says that our power, our truth, our kundalini, our feminine passionate force wants to be the star, wants to be seen, wants to express itself, wants to play, wants to have love, goof around, gamble, love affairs and romance, be big, be seen, be the king, be the queen. Rah, yeah! Take the stage. Give me that microphone. There's this aspect of ourselves. And let's face it, Leo has been slammed through the patriarchy. The last thing, the churches and the governments and and the moms and the dads were all taught. You have to work, you have to produce, you have to prove. We're not giving you a microphone until until you die. So anybody who takes that microphone can be looked at as, oh, who do they think they are? Arrogant, egotistical, self-centered, blah, 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 blah. They took the microphone. When in fact, every single one of us needs to take that microphone. Whatever pisses you off is a lesson, yeah? It's an unexpressed aspect of yourself that other people are getting away with expressing. And so some of our frustration has to do with our lack, yes, of self-realization. So, now Venus comes through Taurus. And she's dancing through Taurus, feeling good, having ice cream cones, and enjoying this physical world. Yeah, getting the massages, feeling good, lots of good massages, getting into the 5 physical senses, which where Venus belongs. She runs Taurus, she rules Taurus, she is Taurus, Aphrodite. But she comes into this square with this black moon Lilith that says, hey, you can be bigger, you can be more, you can be seen. You've got to create, you got to do something. Gamble, speculate, reach out, create something, do something original. And Venus is like, I was having a good time until I got this kind of tension, this kind of square that I could be more, or I could have more, or I could express more than I am. Goes right hand in hand with the sun coming around into this square with Chiron. And it's just this frustration that we can all be feeling that, you know what, we're done. And if somebody doesn't come and open that oven door pretty darn soon, we're going to have to kick that oven door open and get out. We're all feeling it. This is part of the Sun in conjunct Saturn, in conjunct Pluto this week. It's a fickle finger of fate, the yod aspect. There's 4 yods going on, yeah, this week. And the yod is the fate. It's this fatalistic, fickle finger of God, yeah? And it points to, you've got to do this. And one of the things that we've got to do is push. And sometimes we can feel tired of pushing. And I don't want to push. And I'm sick of pushing. And I'm tired of having to always create and put out and go, 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 go. And it can even be, we can even physically be exhausting ourselves. That's the Sun square Chiron. It's a fine line here between, walking, it's this knife edge between limitations, feeling, like we're in this box, in this oven, and the outside world is holding us back, and we need to push out and create, be co-creators and do something new, and or feeling this kind of holding in, holding back, like you're not done yet. 5 more minutes at 350 degrees before we let you out of the oven. There is just this kind of thing going on now. And it's like our egos are getting bound and limited, and it's time for each and every single one of us to adjust to a greater time clock. It's like we're on the clock. And yes, we have these dreams, we have these visions, we have these creative impulses, and they're real, and they're true, and guess what? There's more involved than we can see. There's more involved than we know. It's not all physical, tangible. It's not just about the money. It's not just about the house. It's not just about the kids being happy. There's more involved on subtle and subtle and subtle and subtle levels. So if you're feeling sick, or you're feeling held down, or you're feeling stopped, or you're feeling, really, Mercury's at a standstill, Neptune is at a standstill. It's time to be in this kind of standstill to feel and to allow the divine, the greater source, to have a hand, There's a greater source that knows better than us. The timing of things, when things need to happen, how things need to happen. And this is where we just have to have faith. This is Pisces. This is Chiron coming through Pisces for 7 years. Yeah. From 2000 and what? Like 11 to 2018. And this Neptune in Pisces now, so powerful and so strong. It's only when you kind of give up, throw your arms up and go, all right, I give up. I've tried as hard as I can. I've done everything that I could. I thought this is what I was supposed to be doing. And you throw up your arms and you give up and you lay down. And maybe you cry. And maybe you just despair. And then the fairies start working, and the gnomes start working, and the angels start working, and the magic starts happening, and all the seeds that you've sown start germinating, and they start growing all by themselves. It's like it's almost just a way of Source teaching us that there's more than our willpower, there's more than our ego, there's just more to life than we will ever know. And it's beautiful, and we can trust it, and it will happen. Maybe just not exactly the way that we envision. So it brings me to the mantra for the day, you know. It's hard to face limitation. I can kick and scream and complain. But sometimes Source needs to use a straitjacket before I am willing to change. We've got, like I said, 4 yads going on. And the yads have to do with Virgo, Scorpio energy, which have to do with service and humility. And we are to humbly serve at some way, in some place, at some time in our lives. And it's not about controlling the show and running the show. And this Black Moon Lilith is all frustrated because there's not enough attention or power or control in our court right now. But as we let go and surrender, and we change, and we allow others to have the light, others to have the microphone, partnerships and relationships, Saturn and Scorpio, Mars and Libra, we get this sense of community, this sense of oneness, this sense of that we are part of a bigger, grander, wider show. And the show has a lot of players. Lots of players. It's time to be inclusive and include everybody in our play, everybody in our show. No more exclusive energy going around. That's patriarchal. That's old paradigm. Now it's inclusive. So sometimes we just need to, be straitjacketed, be hammered, be held, be limited, so that other people and everything else has its day, has its opportunity to shine. One more time. It's hard to deal with limitation. I can kick and scream and complain. But sometimes Source needs to use a straitjacket before I am willing to change. May you change without the straitjacket. May you sit still and allow and tap into that universal flow without feeling like your ego is getting packed like a snowball. Namaste. Aloha. So much love.